In less than 30 days, your $100,000 has made you in profit just under $8,000. Tell me a little bit about yourself. What's your professional background?
I've actually been in barber hairstylist for 30 years now. I have a 13-year-old daughter and been married for 13 years. I'm trying to figure out kind of what I need to do so I can retire in the next decade. I've been trying to figure that out for probably the past 20 years or so, but haven't really figured it out. Got a lot of dead ends, and I think I finally found it.
What else have you actually tried in terms of those dead ends, like you mentioned? What else have you attempted?
I have done digital marketing through different avenues throughout the years. I've done Amazon, Dropship, FBA, Walmart, all of those things. I think the thing about it is truly being a working. I've done things that have worked for me was investments that I've done in the past, and they've done well for me. But I think truly passive income is a thing that is not truly passive income with all these other things. It was like going to work and coming home and sitting in the computer. Yeah. And Julio knows I'm not computer savvy, so getting it all done was another job.
I know I'm not the most computer savvy either, and I understand completely. It's just you don't want a second job, and you don't want to have to be super technical and be pushing a bunch of buttons in order for things to work. That can be frustrating. So you mentioned e-commerce.
I've done stocks too. I looked into some AI stock trading and things, but the thing for me is just learning it all was a lot of a big learning curve. It was not truly passive income.
Yeah.
So when I came across this, I think I was sold on more of the story of really truly not having all the time to do things, but really making money, trying to even doing the things you do day to day, but you're not having to worry about spending 3 hours after you're finished work, other than 10 minutes just checking and just making sure that everything is going. And so far, everything has been, I think right now, gross is about 7,500 in probably a month. So
we're going to talk about the results in a second. We're going to build the journey really fast and then talk about that. For you, you're a hairstylist and you've got a 13-year-old daughter. You want to be able to provide the best life for her in a way that doesn't revolve around you kind of constantly working 60, 80 hours a week or whatever the case would be. So you're looking for another stream of income in order to supplement your monthly expenses and things like that. You've tried e-commerce, was a little bit more work than you expected. And you also tried the AI or the algorithm, like stock trading on your own. And how did that go? What was kind of the realization there?
All of that seems like if it goes south really quick. So it's really not just automated. Like once it's trading negatively, it keeps trading because of the aggregate of the things that it does. So it's sometimes you could just be losing your pants and not even know it. And then you go an hour and you're like, oh God, I lost everything. Or
what you're describing is a martingale strategy. So a martingale is literally just like you have a losing trade. Okay, it's going to double down on that.
Yeah.
Right? Another losing trade. Great. Yeah. Great. Double down on that. Wait a second. You're losing. Stop.
Yeah. I think it's just me not learning the learning curve of how to correct it. So then you just kind of stop it completely. And then you go in and you look at it, and then you learn those things. But then by that time, you're kind of in a bad way. So then you end up kind of just putting on a burner and not really trading, but you're trying to learn about it. But then it seems like every day it changes with AI and everything. Kind of like running a marathon, but you don't know how many miles it is because they won't tell you.
Well, I was going to describe it as running as well, but like on a hamster wheel. It's just like kind of you're going nowhere pretty fast. That can be obviously frustrating. So for you then, how did you actually hear about us? Was there like an ad or a video that really stuck out to you?
I think I'm kind of an optimist. I looked at it and then I saw an ad and then I kind of just went and looked at the ad and I just kind of did it. We all do our little Google search and we all do our searches of things. So there's a lot of negative things out there, a lot of things, but you kind of have to weigh everything out. When I weighed it out, I think that part that I resonated with me seems like there's a lot of people that were in the same boat were in trying to find a passive side hustle or something that was truly passive, and feel like there's a lot of people that lost a lot of money, more than me, but I wouldn't say lost because I learned things along the way, but when you're not making money, you're losing money. I'm in that sense. My thing was, if I take money somewhere, because I'm that type of person, what do I want to do with it? And of all of the things that came out, the one that was highlighted and was green for me is almost a little bit to people that are kind of questioning me, like, oh, are you going to be able to get access to your money? And I was like, well, I'll see. When time, I'll take money out I'll see the process. But right now, I have not seen anything that I wrote somebody a check and I got money back in a month. Even
Yeah.
that is just exciting in itself.
Yeah, 100%. But on that end, do I encourage you, because I have noticed that you haven't done a withdrawal yet. And I know that you are going to connect with Julio at some point after this call. What I would encourage you to do is take a withdrawal of sorts. I would encourage you to test a full process, because this is what I did. Like, my story was I lost 6 figures in e-commerce and Airbnb. And then what I did when I found this type of an opportunity, I put around $10,000 into it. And then of course, I tested the withdrawal before I added a significant amount of capital more, right?
I know that that's the thing about it, is everybody you talk to are real human beings. They're not trying to, well, they're trying to sell me something, but they're not trying to like really just sell me a dream that's not a hopeless dream. I get it. I get all of that. So all of those things, all of the interruptions, it doesn't bother me. I just look at life as an opportunity, and I am just thankful that every day I get up and I get to have my daughter and I get to have my wife, and if it become to choose my family over money, I choose them every day.
100%.
I just want this to be sort of something that I can give to them and make things easier for her.
Yeah.
My wife is a little bit more of a not sort of a business or like a thing. So she's always trying to tell me that you might not be able to get your money out. And I said, okay, well, we're going to see. And she said, I am backing you up 100% because I know that you're doing it for the better of us, but she's still kind of over my head.
Well, I want you to, in all seriousness, Dwight, I think that it's a full circle thing. You can't be like, well, you can, right? Sorry, you can. But it would be something that would be very important, because you have one friend or family member that's saying, well, you're not going to be able to get your money back or XYZ. And then you have your wife, who also is one of the most important people in your life, is also questioning that. And then also now in the back of your mind, you may have a question now that you're an optimist. So maybe that's suppressed a little bit, right? Or just turn that thought off. But it still is a question at this point. So I encourage you to answer that question. You have the ability to answer that question. So I would answer that like as soon as possible. Take that possibility, or take the
negativity and make it a reality.
or perhaps any of the doubt or whatever. Take that off the table. Hey, look, I had 80K in my account and I withdrew 30K, just so we could just make sure that everybody understood that this is actually like a possibility and things like that. So I would definitely encourage you to do that. I know, like I said, you and Julio are getting connected 100%. Whatever the amount is, 5K, 30K, all of it, what have you, just get that checked off and then get everybody calibrated on the right direction.
Okay. Because my goal is to just kind of have them compound it and really look for the long term of it. And I think that's the part about it, is just the part of like, oh, if it compounds every year, it gets more, is it going to be harder to get out? I was like, I don't think so. It sounds my account. I think it's one of those too good to be true things for a lot of people. Like, I'm working and I'm making more than I'm making working. So everybody's like, this is not real. And I'm more of a number cruncher, but not like traditional. I compounded everything without all of the daily compound interest and everything. So I had my magic number of what to put in. But then when I got it all set up and everything, I told my wife, and she's like, nope. And I said, so we did half. But I have a compounding, and doing half is better than nothing.
Yeah.
But doing everything is better than half.
Yeah.
So I had to kind of settle myself down and be okay with that. But hopefully, she said in the next 3 to 6 months, we'll watch it and see what happens and do the process of taking it out. Maybe she'll be a little more into all of that. So,
and I love that. And I think that, again, it's about proof of concept. It's about actual experience, not just theory, not just like guessing or being optimist that it's going to work. And it's great to have that positivity and all of that, but you also need to be a realist like you are as well. That's something that I am, right? I pride myself on being a realist. Like, I don't think of things that aren't right so much. Again, I just encourage you to close that loop, to make sure that you and your wife and whoever else is a part of your trusted circle is okay with what's happening, because we want the biggest risk to make sure to be on performance, not on if you can actually get your money out, right? If your money says that this is what it is, we want you to know 100% that you can take any or all of that out. Right. It's the one thing that is like less of a certainty is the actual performance. That's one thing that we don't 100% know. We do 100% know that when you make a request to withdraw, that money will come out. Whatever that balance is, you can request whatever number and you will get that. That's what we want to make sure that you do know. She knows, everybody knows the market risks, but you guys are also questioning about like the brokerage or the safety or security of funds. That should be checked off ASAP, right? Because the market is always going to have this. And that's what we all signed up for.
Yeah.
But nobody signed up to put their money in and not be able to take it out. That's
Yeah.
not what you signed up for.
Yeah.
So let's clarify, let's get that off the table, and then everybody move forward in the right.
Yeah. And my understanding is, I guess I look at it as me starting my business after 30 years, starting out in the beginning and being
Right.
like, okay, I'm going to cut myself out of this box, but now they're charging me this much because now I have the experience. So my taking it is that when these investors are really seasoned investors, so the profit and lossing is like, I don't even look at that. I just look at the bottom line, just because all of that things is the things that I'm not good at. And then I just gonna drive me crazy. I feel like that's kind of where I was a go at, is because I feel like I'm at, like, I could be in a pan group, but then I'm in like this really high end elite group with this community. That's what I was the go for me.
Yeah.
That was the part that I was like, okay, this is, like everybody say, the golden ticket. This is the golden ticket. Like, I don't have $5 million to be in this thing, but I have a community that is understands that this is how, in a way to make money, is you can't be at a $10,000 entry fee but then they don't know what they're doing. So then every day you're like, oh God. And that to me seems like the silver lining of this, of really truly understanding that it is the golden ticket, as in you have a lot of people that understand that you are in an elite group and hope to become elitist one day, to have passive, make enough money that it is just coming in and you don't have to worry about it. So that's how I'm looking at it.
Which is definitely the same as more than half of our clients. They're looking at it in the same exact way. How did you feel just before joining ATN? Were you like skeptical at all? Were you nervous? How did you actually feel?
I felt nervous in the fact that it could be another burn, another dead end. I'm one to do my research, and then once I'm ready to get in the car and drive, I just go. And the money that I put in was liquid, that was there, that I put prior to that, I put in a CD. And I put it in for like 7 months, and I was 150, and then I took it out after 7 months, and I was like, wow, this is not going to make me retire.
So what did you? So you put 150 in, you had it in for 7 months. What was your total profit that you made, or what was the total balance?
I think it was like 3,000 through 3,500 or something. I was crying. I thought it was going to be more,
Yeah. Yeah.
So and then, like this, I think the part about it is this has been a month, and I'm making even more than that in just a month. So that's the part I'm crying now, because I'm making more than
crying tears of joy instead of sadness. No, for you, like you saw the ad, right? You saw some testimonials on the front end. You spoke to your representative. Who was your representative that you connected with, by the way?
Adrian. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's funny. I really liked him.
Yeah. He's one of our more senior representatives, and I'm sure you could tell, because he had so much more to discuss with you other than just the network and the opportunity. And is probably a little bit about life, a little bit about health, a little bit about family, a little bit about everything. That's one of our, again, our senior representatives. For you, how was the actual setup with the account? So you decided to join, you actually kind of got started. What was the setup? Who helped you set up? Was it Julio, David?
I think the biggest hiccup was I tried to do it, the wire. And it was on my end. The bank kept calling me and everything, but every time I would call the number, so it was on my end. It took literally like 2 weeks before we could even get it. But once I got that, like, was days. It was. Yeah. I think that the one thing I think was the system was always not letting us put in code, so we have to sit and wait. But I think security, people get really frustrated about securities and things. I always was like, oh, why is this thing texting me? I was like, because it's probably trying to secure your money and make sure it's you, right? So stop being
some people, exactly.
It,
You're talking about like fraud alerts and those things.
Exactly. I always, I'm like, why? Why are you being annoyed?
No, they're just trying to make sure it's you trying to move your money around. And that's excellent. I feel the same way. How was the ongoing communication? How has that been, right? You got everything set up and like it's been several weeks or whatever. How has the ongoing communication been with the success management team?
I'm sort of like, oh, I'm up today and I just want to check on everybody. So I was like, hey, how's it going, Akila? I just wanted to see how you're doing. And I was like, he's like, I'm good. How are you? And I just do that because all of you guys are helping me. And it's really important for me to like have that human connection to everybody. And this Zoom call is a lot. It almost elevates everything, because a lot of times you get a meeting or a class with somebody and they're there, but then you can never get to anybody. You get to all of the support team. I don't know that I think that Julio was saying like this is kind of like a community of people all wanting the same thing, and kind of that's what we're looking for, and it almost seems a lot of it seems really hands off, but that's kind of what we want. So it seems kind of odd. So that's why I go in once a week with like, hey, what's going on? Because it is truly hands off. It really truly is. Like, you kind of just check your thing, and if you have any questions, like if I needed to withdraw, I would just say, hey, I need to figure this out. I'm not sure how to do it. And then usually Julio or Akila will be like, oh, yeah, cool. Can you be on a Zoom call at this day? Or here, did you go on top and I have a video? Julio has a video. And I'm like, oh, cool. And then I'll go look at it. And if I can't do it, then I just,
And that's what we wanted. We wanted an experience to where we rather put you in a position to where you have us and you don't need us, rather than you need us and you don't know where to find us and how to reach us and figure out how to get in contact and how to meet up with us or whatever. And it's more so like, let's be a constant presence. And I love what you said, where if you don't hear from us for a week, it's kind of like, you just want to reach out and say, hi, how's it going? Because you care about the people that are actually helping you and your daughter and your wife and your circumstances. You care about us in the same way that we're going to respect you and respond if you reach out first, or be able to reach out to you and expect for you to have a level of a response as well. So maybe that's what makes us different. But what in your eyes makes us different than maybe some of the e-commerce that you tried before, or some of the things that you tried to do yourself?
I think a lot of it is always an upsell, and I didn't get any upsells. I didn't get anybody saying, hey, you want to buy this now? And even that, I'm trying to get to that thing in September, because I really just want to like thank everybody personally. And just in that September is just the time when we start school and everything. So I'm trying to like convince them to give me some time. She's like, oh, you're going to go there, and they're going to, being that she's the gatekeeper of everything. Oh, you're going to go there and they're going to sell you something. I was like, maybe they will, but maybe they won't. But so far, I felt like this is the one thing that I would put my money down to go and see, regardless of what it is, just to meet people. And I said, well, truthfully, I have seen videos of some people, and maybe they'll be there, and maybe what it is, I just want to be like, hey, how's it going for you?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, wow. Like, that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
If you're not doing good, why would you go? Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So that to me is the part of, she's warming up to me, warming up to it all, because I would show her like I said, I get one every, a little every night, and I show it there. And I said, look, I made my 7,500 with after my commission. She doesn't say anything. The thing about it is, I think the thing that her question she has is, because I was saying that I want this at long-term and more of a passive income. Her question is like something like, how do you know that this is going to be ongoing, and how do you know that you still can be connected to all of this if everything falls on the bottom? And I was like, that's a good question.
And let me answer that for you. So for me, I'm not going anywhere. I'm a consultant, right? That's my profession. I was a counselor for years for a university, and I kind of moved into the consulting role, which is kind of just more of a counselor in the business world, right? What I love to do is have conversations to learn what people's kind of concerns or pains are that they're experiencing, and then be able to provide a solution to be able to help with it, or possible solution, right? One that's worked for me, because a lot of the situations are like, you've lost money in other opportunities before, so have I. You have a family, so do I. A wife that is a little bit more conservative by nature than you are, so do I, right? So, and that's typically the case for a lot of the clients that resonate with my story. What I love to be able to do is have these conversations, make sure that we're pretty much in the same boat. And here's what I've found that has worked well for me. And then that's, for me, I can't think of business-wise anything else that I would rather do. So I'm not going anywhere in that respect. So therefore, ATN, as far as the network and the community and all that stuff, that's not going anywhere. The trading side of it, the fulfillment team and everything, that's what could have a little bit of turnover, if you will, but that would be the same thing as do you have an iPhone or do you have a Samsung? That would be the same thing as iPhone deciding to, instead of getting their lithium batteries from China, they decide to get it from the Congo, or vice versa. You're still going to have your phone, right? You're still going to type in your wife's name and give her a phone call and be able to reach her, right? So it's the same thing as ATN, even though maybe the trading team may change, right? Because of they decided to decided to do something else, or just continue to focus more on the high net worth individuals as opposed to us, or whatever the case. There's so many trading teams that are actually beating down our doors right now, that we are being polite and saying, thank you for your interest in working with our people, because they realize how many 8 figures that we've been able to raise for kind of the current trading teams, and how valuable that is, because they get 20% of that, right, in profit. Yeah. So it's a valuable thing. So they see us as value. Now we get more people that want to work with us because we've grown. So we have plenty of fulfillment partners, but we stick with the ones that have been doing it for us for years, and that have committed to us and shown that they can actually be successful with trading. So it's not the trading team and the trading partner. We've got plenty of backfill if anything happens there. And then it's the same for me. This is what I am here to do. This is my purpose. This is my calling. In the month of May, we were able to help people secure over $1 million in passive income altogether. I know you were a part of that with almost $8,000 yourself. So that to me is people have real needs. People have real things that they want to see change in their lives, and we're a part of that change. And I don't have any plans of adjusting that and leaving people to their own devices again.
It's kind of like that still feeding you, so why would you cut it off, right? Those questions are just like we were talking about, how do you take your money? Those are one of those things that we just need to put it out there and get the answer, because then we know. And the uncertainty, I think, is on for me is kind of like, oh, I'm sure, being business, before 208, we were a commission salon, and I was the person that was just working, and then I had a team that was doing all of the managing and all that stuff, and it was really, and then 208 happened, and it all went, be like, okay, well, I'm still the business name. Everybody else is going to do what they're going to do, but I know my passion and what I want, so I kept it going. And now we're not a commission salon, we're a lease salon, but I'm at that after 30 years, I'm kind of going down that hill. Instead, I was at 208, I was on top of that hill, but now I'm going down the hill and I'm like, but I still need money.
That hasn't changed. And speaking of money, do you mind actually pulling up your account and sharing your screen?
If I can. Which one do you want, the PAM account or the
main one that you have in
I'm going to sign into it real quick.
Okay.
So how long have you been doing this trading? Has it been for a while now?
It's been over 2 years for me, and then it's been about 1.5 years since we've been offering it to the public.
It seems like it's like really, really, really taking off for me. Like as soon as this all happened, I was like, whoa.
We're in the growth curve like a hockey stick. So how that kind of like curves upwards towards the handle. It's been really exciting, right? We've done very well in terms of not only attracting the right people, but also in the performance, right? You can have a salon, right? You can build the best looking salon and it's beautiful and you got the marketing right and people fill the seats and all that. And then you got crap salon artists, right? Hairstylists.
Yeah.
Right. And then it's just like, what the heck is this? Like, this is a build up to be a complete letdown. We wanted to build something right, but we built it off of the foundation of being able to find the right hairstylists first. And okay, Samantha, style my hair, even though I don't have a lot to style or whatever. Do your best. And then you get spun around in the chair, look in the mirror, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I know so many people that are going to love hairstyles just like this. And you treated me with so much whatever, right? You were impressed by the hairstylist, right? You build your salon based off of the hairstylist first, and then you can make it as big and as beautiful and as lavish as you want, because that's just the cherry on top. And really it matters their experience. What's the end result? They came to get their hair styled, and this is one of the most beautiful styles that you can get in all of Portland or all of Oregon, right? That's where we built the business. But then one of the main pieces for me as the CEO, as the business owner, the salon owner, what I wanted was to make sure that everyone's client experience was top of the line. So now we make sure to, every time you walk in the salon, you get a nice bottle of Perrier, right? Every time you walk in, you get a nice warm towel in order to wipe your hand, whatever. You get a free, really nice topical or what have you. You get XYZ. You just get your experience enhanced. And that's why we typically send clients something as a welcome gift, and we'll have check-in phone calls and make sure you're taken care of, or we will supplement a lot of the costs for an event that we have or what have you. That's a big part of, okay, we built this great, we've got a great group of traders and those traders perform. Excellent. That's wonderful. That's the base of the business. Then you add on the actual kind of onboarding team and the just kind of everyone, the representative, the Adrians, the who you speak to and how you feel when you speak to them on the front end. Great. That's wonderful. Then we build on the Julios and the Aquilas and the Davids, the support team, and just making sure that there's nothing that falls through the cracks. That's the way that we've built it. And that's why it's, in our opinion, it's built to last.
So the thing that I really like working with Aquila, she's like, I'm not sure about that. Let me go ask Julio. And I like that. I like not knowing as an answer. And I feel like that just makes it really real. And she's like, I'm not sure. And or she's like, hold on. And she's like texting or, I don't know. I feel like that to me, when I was younger, I applied to be a attendant because I wanted to fly everywhere. And I went to an interview and it was like 300 people. And it was really interesting how they picked the people to get the job. They didn't pick them what their answer was. They picked them up like if somebody was crying, whoever gave them the Kleenex.
Wow. That's amazing.
And somebody was coughing, whoever offered them like water
or something. Yeah. Yeah.
And it was really interesting. And that was the first time I realized in service industry is not what you say, it's what you do.
And that's why everybody that's in that seat, right? A Julio or an Aquila, they all are very personable. They all are caring. They're considerate. And then, like you said, right, they'll admit if they don't exactly know 100% the answer to that question. And because they care about you and the result, they want to make sure that you get the right answer, not just the quickest or the fastest, but the right answer. And they're going to get you that right answer as soon as they possibly can. So I'm glad that you've taken notice. Did you?
I like to look at the big picture. And we have bumps in the road, but it makes it more fun.
Yeah, right. Makes it an experience. And so if you want to go ahead and you hit the middle button where it says share screen, it's a green button, and then it'll ask you what you want to show. Perfect. Now go ahead. You go.
So guess what? You're better at the computers than I am.
All right, because I know that there are people that are better than me.
You definitely answered that question about me.
So we're getting you logged in and
Okay, there it is.
all right, look at this. All right. So what did you originally start your account with?
70 and 30,
Okay.
100,000.
Okay, nice. That $100,000, and it's been about 4 weeks or so.
It's just, I think, just about 4 weeks right now, maybe a little shy.
In less than 30 days, your $100,000 has made you in profit just under $8,000.
Gross about.
Well,
But
I would perhaps say net, right? Because the net amount is in green, and the gross would be if you were to add what's in red to the right.
so in the net is 6,000 something, because it's 74, 60, and 31. So 6.
No, so the realized P&L is what you look at as far as what the total profit has been.
That's right.
So almost $8,000. And what, if you don't mind me asking, what do your monthly income look like with your salon?
About 10 to 12,000 a month.
Okay, nice. So not too far off. About 70 to 80% of your income is also being generated without you having to be at the salon and
And if I just doubled that, it would be more than my income. Then I'd be like crying.
well, we got to get your wife on board, and we got to get another few months in, but it's coming soon, right? So that's exciting though, and I'm happy to see that. You can and you can actually stop share now. For you, how quickly did you actually start making passive income after everything was onboarded for you?
I think the first few days was the weekend. So then on Monday it started. It's the first. I think we onboarded really late on Friday. There wasn't much that happened, and on Monday then it started, like literally the first day. Well, I would say the first day, because Friday was really late when we did it, because it's East Coast time and we're in West Coast. So literally, like immediately.
I love it. So the last question that I was asking was, so in the last 30 days, your accounts generated just about $8,000. So as a percentage, that would be about 8%. Is that it? And just so I know as well, how passive has it all been for you after the onboarding phase?
It has been checking my account.
Considering that this continues on for several months or even years or whatever, how likely would you be to actually recommend us to somebody else?
I guess 100%, because there's nothing higher than that.
Exactly. Love it. Well, that's pretty much it on my end. And I appreciate the feedback. It's really helpful to get an idea of where you're at with things and how things are going for you. And I'm glad that we're able to provide the support that you need in order to have your family feel a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more stable when it comes to the income that you're able to help generate for the family. So we're extremely excited to be able to help you with those things, and looking forward to having this continue on for years and years to come. 100%. I love it. I'm looking forward to the next steps, and how to work from here is we'll reconnect in the next few weeks. I know you're going to try to make it to Phoenix. We would love to be able to see you there. But in the meantime, we'll have a conversation or two even before that happens, be able to kind of make sure that, again, you're still on the same page, and check in with you and make sure that we're doing the right job. Love it. All right, Dwight. Well, I appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk soon. Okay. Bye. So every 30 days, I talk one-on-one with my clients, and that was their experience. If you want to learn more on how we help our clients earn 60% or more per year, then click the link in the description below.